Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to killer7. So it feels very much like we are near the end of the game, and the hope is at the end of the game we'll get some revelations about the story. I definitely know that there have been people who have sung the praises of this game quite a bit, being its own niche type of game, just weird type of game that most people wouldn't ever play or ever have seen or heard of. But I'm wondering if perhaps it deserves those praises in a modern time as much as it just deserved those praises when it was released many years ago. Because nowadays with things like Steam Direct, it's pretty easy to put out a weird game, and it's a lot easier where this game had to work with Capcom. Suda 51, Grasshopper Manufacture, had to work with Capcom into. Yeah, there was literally no way you were gonna be able to shoot that guy in time. We're on floor 6 right now. Feels like there's gonna be a floor 7 and a roof, possibly. And then that's just gonna be it.
Hurts, doesn't it?
With Kaede's abilities, she seems to get quite a lot of extra. Ooh, who is that?
Hurts, doesn't it?
Oh, so that's what the laser guy looked like. I didn't even know. Like,
Hurts, doesn't it?
but yeah, her critical shots cause her to get a lot of thick blood. And so the laser guy is basically strapped to a table. I think we can outrun this one. Whereas I thought he was just a collection of round black bars, like almost like tires stacked on top of each other. I just have never been able to get a good picture. Interesting. So we now have a floor covered in petals. And we have a different sound effect, and the floor is very different here. And it seems to me like this floor is going to lead to the gate. And are we going to finally have a boss fight on the gate? Let's see. Go ahead and check out Harm's room, since it seems to be relatively safe. Every time we walk past our Harm's room now, it kind of makes sense to make some more thick blood. It doesn't seem like the machine is going to get broken again. So we now have this enemy slow ability on Dan as we get him up to level 4 and everything, but it would be 100 more vials to get him to get that critical lock. It's probably not super necessary to save. Yeah, right now, but we'll do it anyways. Alright, let's walk in the hallway, talk to Iwazaru. Master, it's dark. Much too dark. Way too much atmosphere. I smell a rat. A bloody rat. It's a maimed rat. Danger level at red and approaching DEFCON 5. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. We're in for it. Once you use the ring, you can never go back. It's time of reckoning. There's no looking back in the name of Harman. Alright, well. I got blown up by somebody there. Alright, well. if that's the case, we can't go back. Then let's see if we can go to the roof. Nope. Interestingly, the roof is not selectable. I'm pressing up on the D-pad, left on the D-pad, right on the D-pad, down on the D-pad. Down takes you all the way down, up takes you all the way up. Alright. Okay. Let's see what it says about the flowers before we do anything. It doesn't say anything. Okay. So we have 6 soul shells. We're obviously going to end up with 7 soul shells. We need the wind ring to blow away the leaves, the flower petals. It just magically blows them all away. And then we have our 7th soul shell, which kind of do look more like seeds or teeth or plants than a bullet shell. And in we go. This whole gatekeeper character doesn't seem like he's anything at all. He seems unnecessary. And the whole idea of gatekeepers and these vernaculum gates in the first place seemed like an idea that could have easily been left on the cutting room floor in favor of just having a lock with 7 keys. And honestly, if you wanted to stick with everything being really cool here, you would probably have the gatekeeper be like a statue in which you have to push the bullets into the statue like keys, or shoot the bullets into him all at once, or even multiple times. Next, please. Where to? You only have ever talked to him. The vernaculum gate. Let me take those. Yes, all received. Go right on inside. He might have a different line of dialogue if I only had some of the soul shells. But you just really are never going to be likely to only have some and not have all of the shells. And yeah, I don't think going up and going down means anything at all to get to the Coliseum. And this feels definitely like this would have been our last opportunity to have a surprise boss fight in this room, which totally seems like it's designed to have a boss fight in it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like there's 7 doors in this Coliseum. But actually there's 8 because you also have this, which I guess isn't actually a door in the same way that this is a door. And usually these introduce a new enemy, which would basically have to just be a boss. I think the last time we did see an enemy here, we only saw him once. Ha 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 ha. Hee hee hee. Don't get me wrong. I didn't lose a screw or anything. It's just tickled up and down my spine. The monster is gross. Covered in bumps. Popped out them gross bumps. Somebody put me out of this misery. Somebody put it out of its misery. And so you have a timer smile. I don't know if I can hit all of these bumps in this time frame. This really is a case where Kade would really be your only choice. Yeah, there's... And that just straight up kills you. Well, that doesn't seem fair. does not seem fair at all. And know where this puts you? Like this puts you, I guess, just outside. Where you could collect this again.
Look,
let's go ahead and skip these animations.
I can feel no remorse when seeing a dead body. To me, it's merely cold, rotting flesh.
Let's go ahead and put the stamina ring back on, just in case that means something. Unless the game is going to be really generous and not make us fight this. We're in a weird position now. Maybe I just need to be faster about hitting him before, because he starts running when he's like halfway towards me or something like that. And you're like in this hallway that feels very much in line with come on. So that may really just boil down to picking your choice of who you wanted to really attack at that time. Little different visual lighting effect here. That's kind of interesting. But the fact that you had to walk all the way through this a second time because you died, and the fact that this could just be straight up a difficulty spike, I don't think works nicely. Yeah, I would definitely hang on the idea that it would have been better to just leave the gates on the cutting room floor and had more of a consistent reality as far as the environments. Like, not everything has to be crazy. And the environments were already crazy. I guess we're getting a cutscene here. Yep. Get turned into Garcian.
You the one they call Matsuken?
No, Kanjiro Matsuoka is not here. I already handed him over.
Where?
How about I give you a clue?
You know we don't have time for puzzles.
Of course.
Interesting
a new
voiced.
Informant is waiting. When you find yourself getting close to the truth, please come again. I'm afraid our time is up. Good day.
So we have no idea who that was, and apparently that was just part one. We still got the moon aspect that seems crazy, but seems to somehow play some role. Okay, so last time we were in this room, in this trailer, Harman was missing, Samantha seemed to be dead, and we could get into the forbidden room. Now we have Harman back. He may have always been in the room. We have a TV here with no blood, so the only thing I guess we could do is see if we could switch personalities or wake up Harman, which doesn't seem to be the case. We'll just go ahead and save. And I guess at this point it is highlighting that you couldn't have enough saves in one save file for each of the 2 sections of each level, assuming each level did have 2 sections. I'm not sure if Angel really did. Yeah, you can't go back in the Forbidden Room. And it does seem like there, if we now know what the Forbidden Room is, it does seem fairly obvious that there's possibly only one locked room with one other surprise in it. Instead of there being potentially two characters that you would unlock through those rooms. Which, yeah, if Killer 7 turned into Killer 8, that's interesting. If Killer 8 turned into Killer 9, that's not really that interesting to throw in yet another character to play as. I don't even know how you can make a character that played particularly that differently.
Is the word punctual even in your vocabulary?
Now we have this new character.
Come and go whenever you please.
Interesting.
Your identity?
Linda Vermilion. I was the one hired to kill Mills.
What?
Mills was a slave, cased up to the government. The government's interest was his interest.
That's our job. That's what we do.
Is
Wow,
making a
she
move for the interest of the
seems to
country
have a
assassin's
very
job
small
too.
bra on.
Really?
Just a small
I'm a
tiny
protector
belt.
of the country. You'll soon know who I am.
Hold it.
See? You already know. It's your last job. Use your eyes to decipher how the system works. And then, seek the real enemies.
Way too late in the game to introduce a new character, particularly one that is interesting visually like that. Or interesting to me, at least, visually like that. That feels like that would have been a character you would have expected to pop up in a lot of places. Now it's a little disconcerting. We're now ending up in an elementary school. The desperate struggle of Coburn National Elementary School. Assignment number 41, contact the National Hub. Yep. So, doesn't seem like this may be that big of a level. Coburn National Elementary School. Which, if this is all a dream happening in the mind of some imaginative elementary student, that's a little extreme, frankly, but like, I do suspect it's all in the mind of Harman, but I was expecting Harman to be the Harman we've seen. Let's get Travis here and see what he has to say. Quiet. If you're overheard, you'll be in deep trouble. Let me tell you straight up, just between you and me. This is the spot where the homeland elections originate. The spot for the primaries, the first presidential election. The first president of the United States was the principal of this school. Win over your neighbors and win over the world. That's the way politics works. The story is very weirdly political and definitely weirdly a Japanese person doing a United States politics. That's awkward. Certainly. And it looks like we are going to play as Kaede. That's who they want us to play as. Who's our target? Just some guy, I guess. I still suspect that there's one more pigeon. I would kind of hope we don't run into any kids. But there is this danger that the Heavenly Smiles have always been humans and we've just been seeing them wrongly. Here you can see the camera is fairly well lit and right up Kaede's skirt too. So we are getting some weird messages. Let's see what Iwazaru has. This is hot. Ouch, feel the sting. A hot, muggy night. I'm feeling rather a tinkling fragrance wafting through the air. A perfume called Conspiracy. Master, this may be your last job. Use the personas of the Syndicate with abandon in the name of Harman. I don't know what he specifically means with abandon. Yeah. Suppose it's worth mentioning that this would have probably come out before Columbine, and just having somebody run around the school and shooting guns in any factor nowadays is just, I think, completely not something that's going to happen. Interesting. It does seem like I may have missed a couple of things in the main gate area, but maybe not. Whatever I missed, though, is probably not important. We could check, though, I guess, and just see. Yeah. Yeah, it is just this one linear place. So then I guess the question is, do we want to go to the entry hall? Or do we want to go to the hallway? Do we want to go to a corridor? Might you just expect that
Hurts, doesn't it?
we'll have some smiles? Right. So the corridor seems to have taken us to the first floor. I want to be as thorough as possible as to how this all would go. And this also seems like this has taken me to a first floor. But it's considered still the school entrance. Here's our hint character. And here we have some interesting drawings for little insect type, Pokemon type things, Digimon characters. Wouldn't be surprised if these were actual drawings Suda 51 did in his youth. Let's see what the hint is here. Half of the puzzles we've seen don't even have this guy. Children are innocent. Famous robot animation. Transforming robot toys sell well. Illustrations don't lie. The way to transform gets a lot of attention. Shoot the mask to hear more. But the mask lusts for thick blood, which we don't really have, so it really wouldn't hurt me to shoot it. That being said, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Terminal requires 2 keys. I don't recognize this picture. Getting it wrong doesn't seem to really hurt either. Let's check the control panel. Docking. There's 6 here. And there's 3 here. Okay. 3, 6, 5, 7. probably is the solution to this. The problem is I don't know the order. I'm not sure I really recognize these symbols. Like 3, 6, 5, 7. Nope. This one is a bunch of animals. This one's a bunch of bugs. But maybe has that symbol. This one is a bunch of vehicles. Maybe that's a symbol, maybe that's a symbol. And then this one has lasers. Does that make any sense at all? Six. Seven. 5. 3. 5. 7. 6. Okay, we got it. Although, in all fairness, that was mostly guessing and just some real roughness on figuring out how, like, this animal symbol equated to something and this animal symbol equated to something different. And we now have Travis in this room. They give us one more thing. 656. Don't peek at me all of a sudden. Can the guy have some privacy? If you have something to say, save it for later. I mean, please, dude. Let's talk somewhere else. Ah, I know a good place. Right over there. A student's secret sanctuary private locker. I've been waiting at the same place with this number on my shirt. Usually get the secret tapes. So now we have a cassette player. So that was something we really had to do. Now this terminal we can't do anything with yet. So still some stuff we're gonna have to deal with, obviously. Let's go down this hallway and we probably don't have any blood or anything, so really just walking in the room to walk out. I guess maybe this poster here was supposed to tell us something, but being in Japanese, it may not be telling us as much as we needed to know. Maybe this was telling us the orders, or maybe this was telling us the combination of things. Yeah, I think that's what this is saying, is that each of those individual drawings combined with this would have given us a symbol, and you can see there's an omega symbol in the name. I don't think these are all real shows, but it might be. Now I have a tape, which I guess maybe would have told us to do something. Right. Interesting. We have these tapes that seem like they can be played out of order.
It's safe here. school. But inside the walls of this school, the voices still continue to echo. I think I'm going to go mad. It sure doesn't help my chronic headaches. Well, at any rate, I confirmed his birth date. It's November 22nd, 1942. Wait a minute. This can't be right. That's over 50 years ago.
ISZK on the cassette player again. That might just be a replacement for something like Sony, which would be the kind of default brand. Alright, nope, we don't want to go that way. We want to go this way. And then this way. So we were thorough, and because of that thoroughness, we're going to be benefited by having the cassette player with us instead of potentially picking up a bunch of cassette tapes and then not doing anything with them until we have the cassette player. Let's see what this guy has to say. I don't think we listened to him before. It's suffocatingly hot enemies, but who are those two? Acting like kings. Probably think they're hot stuff. Well, I'll be damned, not a word, or even a hello. All gathered up, with minions in tow. It's enough to make me rich. Add a cigar to the picture. Behold, our decadent times. You could learn a thing or two from underestimating my master. Use barefoot for the ladies' room, in the name of Harman. Again, a hint amongst just a wall of punishing repetitive text. So, I guess what we're probably going to find out is that those two people we saw are secretly running the United States the whole time, which would be kind of in parallel with what actually was eventually revealed in the fact that China was secretly being run by Japan many decades ago. So this should get us the pigeon, which seems like it was unnecessary to render a bathroom stall to use it twice in the game, and a toilet to use it twice. So here's our last pigeon, which my guess here is that this is not going to go anywhere. I'm preparing to leave my house. There are 6 bullets in my trusty gun. Their purpose is to put you out of your misery. Dear Amir, we have no idea who Amir is. I sincerely wish that each and every one of them nails you squarely between the eyes. And now I'm off to kill you. Surprised? I asked Master Harm, asked him to kill you, Amir. Harm is right here with me. The maid is with us too. Ooh, so maybe this guy was the guy who ended up killing Harman and the maid. We're all going on a little outing, a picnic with your name on it. This took all of my resources. I bet you're at school now, which means you'll face the wrong end of my pistol in just moments. Wait for me in the principal's office. This is the code, 55549. Interesting. So we needed to find this to get the code. The lock is secured with a double code. You need the second code to open the lock. Even I don't know what the code is. It's your job to find it out. Everything is ready. I'm delighted that I can finally meet you. Harman is laughing with me. Even the maid is laughing. What the hell are those guys do? Master is waiting for you at the hotel. We will kill this man for you. Samantha Smith. Well, I didn't know Samantha really would have been a Smith. Interesting. So instead of killing the Amir character, it seems like Harman and Samantha betrayed him and are now offering to kill whatever his name was. I forget it. And we get another tape. And I'm guessing, yeah, we're not going to use our special ability. It does kind of seem like there might be someone under in the stall, but maybe not. I guess no, not. Now I have this desire to rush through the last bit of this. It's probably the wrong character to be playing as. Should we wait or should we come around the edge? We should not have waited. Some of these twists and turns definitely feel like things that could have been left to the player to just allow them to go the wrong way and turn around and get lost. Honestly, that kind of gameplay I think is a great way to stretch out a game better than just pointless dialogue. Right. So we've just got a lot of classrooms and a lot of things that we're gonna go through to, I think, find tapes, if I was to guess. And maybe each classroom will play as a challenge in which there's somebody rather strong in this area, or maybe it'll just be an empty classroom. There's a ridiculous amount, though, of new 3D models of things being rendered here, as far as lockers and tables and chairs. Seems a little unnecessary to have set this in a school, although it would have been redundant to have once again had it in a hotel.
Hurts, doesn't it? Hurts, doesn't it?
To the next hallway we go. Next classroom, I guess. Don't gain the world and lose your soul, victim. What does it say? Some vision is something something. I don't think there's really a lot to see or be surprised about as far as these textures and these surface pieces of paper, but it's weird that they're there in the first place. I suppose a more modern game, you wouldn't have cassette tapes, you might have like USB thumbsticks, but no, cassette tapes make as much sense as anything else. And I have now forgotten which of these lockers we're supposed to be looking in, but I bet the game makes it fairly easy on us. I guess as long as we have the stamina ring, we're not going to take that much damage. Yeah, now we have vials and test tubes inherently, if this is the level of detail that rooms were going to look like, you should have probably established that at the beginning of the game, and instead of at the end, because now the polish, as it were, in this game is left to only be seen by the players that made it this far, whereas some people may have gotten bored and quit the game earlier. Let's go this way. Yep. To go into one more classroom. 666 written on the board, really big, which, yeah, guess that somewhat probably does make some sense, that if there's going to be, if this was a game on a lower resolution area, Locker 666 L3G, if this was like a Vita game, it would make sense that to have the important stuff way bigger. Feel a hot hand coming on. The podium is sacred. A typical first day of class. Teacher writes the students' names on the blackboard. What's that? I think I see some numbers. Maybe you ought to check them out. In the name of Harman. Yeah, I seriously doubt a single player would have missed those numbers. That being said, okay, you still have to find the locker. Maybe mask would have saved me from that. Let's go ahead and hit the classroom first. Did we have any others to hit? Even in this case, you have to realize how big this classroom had to be made for that to make sense. And these desks are really out of scale. Which, yeah, almost certainly a Japanese 3D modeler made these desks, and they've never seen a desk like this in their life, because this is not the way I've ever seen a Japanese desk looking. Most Japanese desks, I think, are more hand carved from decades previous. They have a hook on the side for the book bags and not attached chairs. Those kinds of desks are specifically designed to make it, for lack of a better explanation, impossible for somebody to lift up a desk, a chair, and swing it around like a weapon in a fight. There might be some other argument as to why the desks are like that, but I think that's probably the default reason. And if you are strong enough to lift the entire desk and the chair at the same time, well then I guess anybody is in trouble then, as far as the receiving end of that pummeling. Yep, it does seem like we're going to get all of the cassettes, and so it does make a lot of sense to just listen to him. It says change the world, not choose the world. What's going to kind of suck here, though, is that we're going to spend, I think, a lot of time listening to cassettes all of a sudden, which is just not something that we've done. Interesting. I can shoot this one. I get something. But only specific ones are targetable. And 666 here is noticeably not one of the targetable ones. Well, it wasn't targetable at that point. It does create a weird situation, certainly, where like 686. Are these numbers going up? They're going down. I feel like I should have hit 686 over that way. Well, let's see what this does. Introducing the ultimate wrestling legend, the Iron Mask. Alright, well, this is not marked particularly well, but my guess here is what we're supposed to do is switch to Mask to Smith. Receive the Iron Mask, the symbol of ultimate strength. Yeah, and he's really stopped being a wrestler and just become a superhero at this point. Hmm. 712, 711. Six, 6. Maybe I was misinterpreting the numbers on Travis's shirt, and it was always 666. Yeah, because that's not opening. It does seem like we have a classroom still to investigate and some kind of secret panel. Let's see what this has to say. Cell information is complicated, most complicated. Did you get the locker number? Break the locker. 2 important things. Keep it open. Doors open. Shoot the mask to hear more. But the mask lusts for thick blood. Let's go ahead and convert this to serum. I think we're going to have to take a bit of a risk here and just see if we can kind of go a little long and beat the game in this episode. I don't think that's really what's going to happen, but it does seem like if we don't do that, we may have like a 15-minute episode in the next recording. Or there may just be a bit of a split here in which this is the last place we'll save, but we are still going to have to Hallway, corridor. It's a special kind of lock. You can't go that way yet. Classroom. I think we were already in this classroom. There's definitely a room we haven't been into. We missed it. This is really like a great example of where it would be very helpful if the game pointed you on the map as to where you were. That would be very, very nice. Yeah, we're still missing tape 10. Second floor lock released. Well, I was really just shooting that out of desperation. This feels like this would be a gate. Wow. So we've got a second floor. You can see how the camera messed up. Let's talk to Travis. The homeland's history is all right here, but there's a catch. The first presidential election created a precedent. An artful technique came into play. Could it be that the vote count isn't always what it seems? What do you do if the true is all lies? What do you do if your history is a shroud? Can't you smell the stench of deceit? Smith, go and peer upon it with your own two eyes, the truth behind this country. Charade. It's important to point out that the United States is not really a democracy. It is a republic. And so the general popular vote of each state then, for most states but not all states, leads to the electors, who are picked by the Republican and Democratic parties, to be selected, and then the electors all go to Washington D.C. and vote on behalf of their people, allegedly on behalf of their people, to vote in the president. So it is not a direct popular vote. So at any point in the real United States history, there definitely could have been, and probably were sometimes, in which electors voted against the popular vote of their constituents, the people they're supposed to represent, and that very possibly has led to someone other than who was voted for by a popular vote, or even by an electoral representative vote, becoming president. And inherently that doesn't even touch upon fact that there is just a very locked in corrupt system in which only the select chosen Democrats and Republicans have any chance at all of becoming president in the first place. Right, so we've got a lot of people spawning, and we don't have a lot of thin blood here. Here, let's try something crazy here. Master Smith, in his ultimate form, make sure we actually get the core in our target and we don't accidentally miss so far away.
I know who's the strongest.
So yeah, all that talk about like real world politics set aside, I don't know what Suda 51's story is going to be that would make it any more surprising. At a certain level, there are rich people, oligarchs, in the United States that spend a ton of money funding politicians on both sides and have bought a ton of influence. And since it is just kind of a publicly known secret, like it's an open secret that like there's not a lot of upsetness around it as much as there probably should be. Don't raise your voice. Who could be listening? 24 people. That's how many electors have been assigned to the state. 10% of the total vote. Hey, that makes it the key state. Now, would that be a nice place to control? The lord of the state is the lord of the land. But who must you sweeten to gain this fair prize? It'll take a mountain of money. But for whom to write the check, you must know by now, right? So just... yeah, I missed that last line. So yeah, it seems like the Japanese are trying to control... he's holding a giant fork and knife. Trying to control the state election is the general idea. The politics aspects on this just doesn't work. I don't know how you really would make it work. It comes off very much like some of the Gundam animes, in which I've never been able to really follow any of the Gundam anime series because they're too political. Well, you got a whole save spot and then another save spot and then a vernacular gate. Yeah, the fact that we see another save spot, I think, tells me I should probably at this point in this episode, because I do think that there is a decent chance here that there's enough content. And yeah, I guess the whole terrorism aspect here, which is the thing you could probably have followed deeper on into, that would have been the thing I think to focus on more. And that got me 1 upgrade on the skills with Dan. We would still need another 75 serums to spend.
I've changed my makeup.
What did you say?
Later. Destiny.
And this Master Smith character just keeps getting upgraded way more than any of the other characters.
Later. Destiny.
Which kind of just makes me feel like Master Smith may have even been a character added in some kind of like remastered version of this game.
What did you say?
But I don't know how you could have played this game if that was the case.
You called? Don't make me say it again.
That would be fairly boring if we unlocked a character in number 1 or 11 or 10 or 9, and then to balance that out, the game just introduced a couple new enemy types that could only really be defeated by that character. I really question though if there would be any way you could make a sequel to this game. This is probably one of those niche-like games where people would really like to hear a sequel, or have a sequel, but in all practical execution, it's unlikely that would happen. I missed something at the skull entrance, didn't I? How did I miss that? And then there were still these two doors, these two doors, the little red lines. I bet I need that 10th disc, and you get the 10th disc when you get it. So I bet I probably am going to have to run all the way back to the beginning of the level to get that. But since we already know that we also have to go back to the beginning of the level to input that terminal, we probably should just push forward. So this may be the first instance in which it actually starts to make sense as far as the level design, that you would have to work backwards and forwards a couple times. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good